College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by USAA. Insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. By Golden Corral, your choice rules. And by those that live like a pro, GMC.
Some images there back to 1987. Eastern Michigan was the only team, that 87 team in school history, to win a MAC championship. They were led by Coach Jim Harkema. They finished 9-2, played in the California Bowl against San Jose State. They were big underdogs, but came back to win the game by 3. And now Jeff Monken's guys, Jay, after a very good opening drive for Eastern Michigan, will get the ball for the first time here today. Creighton's guys looked razor sharp. Jesse Kelly's got it teed up at the 35. The dangerous Kel Walker, number 5, is back deep along with John Trainer, number 6. Walker under it from the 5. They string him out. Walker can't get free. Good pursuit. Flag came in on the play. But they really strung Kel Walker out. What'd you see on it?
They tried to run a bounce return. Kel Walker, we saw the speed that he had last week. They tried to run a bounce return, weren't able to get to the corner. Good job by Eastern Michigan, being disciplined, keeping contained. I think you're going to see a block in the back here.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 25 of the return team. Half a distance to the goal, first down.
So the verdict from Epperly, and we'll look back and
right in front of the ball carrier, just comes up and just barely touches him. I don't know. I wouldn't have called that. You know, he touched him. He put his hands there. He didn't push him. That's a tough call on Army, but a good job by Eastern Michigan being disciplined in kick coverage, not getting sucked inside. Army's trying to suck you in, get you to come across the field, and then seal block. They kept contained and didn't allow Army to get a big return.
So a 7-yard penalty, and on trots the senior, Ahmad Bradshaw. 13 carries, 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week in the win over Rice. Averaged 8.8 per carry. Kel Walker in the backfield along with John Trainer and Kalen Holt. Out of the shotgun goes Bradshaw. There's the handoff to Walker. I knew what you were thinking.
Well, every time Walker's back there, they love to hand him off, get him a little zone reads.
Chick-fil-A lineup, and we look a little bit closer at this senior who's emerged into the clear-cut leader of this team, Jay.
Yeah, he certainly has. Jeff Monken has told us how great his leadership qualities are, but he runs the ball well. He's not turning the ball over this year. You need him to complete a couple of passes, Ben.
It's Eastern Michigan defense, one of the best in the MAC and one of the best in the country, and right on cue, Beck comes in and finishes it off. He's close to 300 career tackles. Chick-fil-A lineup for Army. The rest of their offense, who do you like there?
I highlighted their center, Bryce Holland, because that offensive line has done such a great job this year. And Bryce Holland has been instrumental in cutting down on one of the things that hurt Army the most over the last 2 years, and that's fumbles. 38 fumbles in 15, 31 fumbles in 2016, only 3 fumbles so far this year. That's why they've been so effective on offense.
Yeah, it's huge. Last 2 years, when Army doesn't turn it over, they haven't lost the game. Here's Bradshaw. 3rd down and long. Bradshaw gets out to the 17, almost to the 18. He should have the first down, and the senior converts the first down. Spearman made the stop, but not before. Ahmad Bradshaw picked it up. Let's go down to John real quick. John.
Well, an update, actually, one of the officials, the back judge, just got taken off the field. He actually collided with one of the players. Looked like his lip got busted open. Right now, they are on the field. Only 7 officials on the field while they're tending to the back judge. Ben?
All right, John, that's Doug Smith, the back judge today.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yes, hopefully he's okay. So a short-handed crew for the time being. Bradshaw, hands off, straight ahead, right into the teeth of it was Andy Davidson. Max Crosby, who's had a great season there to take him down. Chick-fil-A lineups, Eastern Michigan's D. Who do you like there today?
Vince Calhoun was a stud last week against Toledo in the game you and I did. 16 tackles. He won't play his normal rover position this year. They're going to move him into linebacker, but he'll be in the middle of action, playing with that cast on his hand, a club, and the ability to have 16 tackles with that on your hand, not able to grab with the left hand, just spectacular.
Every time we looked up seemingly last week, that game in Toledo, he was around the football in some way, shape, or form. Slumka, Connor Slumka, the Wexford Sledgehammer, as he's affectionately known by his teammates, just sledgehammered his way ahead there. Pickett made the stop, but it's another Army first down. Gain of 12.
Army's fullbacks this year have been excellent. 918 yards, 10 touchdowns cumulatively at the fullback position coming into today. And the most depth they've ever had here at Army at the fullback position. And what allows that keeps guys fresh, and you get guys coming in that have different abilities, and it just opens up this entire triple option offense.
No question, they have 5 guys that they can call on. We've yet to see Woolfolk in the game. Slumka, nowhere to go. Jeremiah Harris plays that bull position. Number 90 led the charge in there. No gain. Time to look at your extra points. Jay, what are they for this contest?
Well, Eastern, fly, Eagles, fly, like the Philadelphia.
I thought you were going to sing it.
No, I'm not singing. They got to throw the ball. You saw it on the first drive, and make Bradshaw beat you. Take away Kel Walker. Take away the fullback and put it on Bradshaw. Army, no turnovers. Undefeated with no turnovers over the last 2 years, and then put pressure on Roback. Don't allow him to sit in the pocket, be comfortable, complete passes like he did on that first drive.
Yeah, no question. During the midway point of this opening quarter, we've reached it now. Play clock down to 5. Bradshaw, there's the pitch outside. Block out there, and they're going to force him out. Beck was out there to force Kel Walker out of bounds. Just shy of the first down, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and short, gain of 9.
Really good block by Rick Kurtz, number 62, the left tackle, coming out front, leading Kel Walker. And I think Walker, if he cuts behind Kurtz, not only would he have gotten the first down, but he would have had a much bigger game.
Jason Beck was there and kept him from converting that first down. It's Chris Creighton's first recruit when he came to Eastern Michigan 4 years ago. 3rd and a yard. Turn around, handoff, first down Army. They've got it. Connor Slumka. He's a guy that, with Woolfolk being out, has really seen his playing time and his experience go up.
Yeah, all four of the fullbacks have been productive when they've been in there. Brent Davis told us that when he's in 3rd and short, knowing they're going to go for it on 4th down, they've done it 17 times this year and been real successful, 76%. It allows them to say, I can just give it to my fullback twice. Yeah. I know we're going to get the first down if I give it to my fullback twice.
1st and 10 here for Army. Davidson, the fullback. Flag flies on the near side. Gain of 4, but we have to check the flag first.
Flag on the play.
Offside, defense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Luke McLean, one of their down linemen, offsides there on the play. Started his college career at Pittsburgh, product of Grand Blanc, Michigan. He used to play the Buick Open up there for years at Warwick Hills, where he's from. So 1st and 5 now after the penalty. 9th play of the drive coming up here for Army. Bradshaw gives off. Davidson's got the first down as he takes the ball down to the 37. Jason Beck, the tackle. First down Army. Under 6 to play in the opening quarter as the march continues. Armed Forces football proudly supported today by GMC.
Neil Netherly, Ben, as the defense coordinator for Eastern Michigan, normally runs a 4-2-5 defense. Today he's got 8 inside the box, 2 corners and only 1 safety. Different look to try and stop this triple option offense.
And for the first time today, Jay, Darnell Woolfolk, number 33 in the game.
Expect him to get the ball.
He doesn't there. The pitch trainer, great tackle on the outside. There's a guy you highlighted, Jay. Vince Calhoun right there.
9 men in the box for Eastern Michigan. bringing Calhoun, allowing him to come down and attack, not playing the same role that he played normally in that 4-2-5 defense. You can see he can't grab and wrap up with that club on his left hand. He just comes and throws right through and makes the tackle.
Outstanding. His progression has been great. Neil Nethery telling us the other day about his progression, about Kevin McGill, young guys that had to play a lot as freshmen last year, and it's really paid off. Here's Bradshaw, the pitch. Walker with that speed. He runs into McGill, and he takes it down into the red zone, down close to the 10-yard line. As the Army march continues, it'll be 1st and goal from the 9.
Couple of clear out routes right here. Open this space up as you bring the option around and get the ball into Walker's hands. You see the space he's got when Bradshaw makes that pitch and the ability to get to the corner.
Army there going nowhere as Eastern Michigan, that defense has been very stout all year for them.
Well, getting into the backfield, that's what they do. 35 tackles for a loss coming in this year. They had 60 last year. There's Brent Davis, the offense coordinator. Love talking with him.
Always have a good time with him. And
Eastern Michigan defense, we saw it last week.
Yeah.
You know, Toledo moved the ball down the field, but when you got into the red zone, they put the clamps down, didn't allow Toledo to get into the end zone, and that's why they had a chance at the end of the game.
Red zone particulars for Army. They've been strong. There's the pitch. Trainer digging over there, though, and close it off. Surprise, surprise. Calhoun, the first guy to get to him. So we'll take a look now at our GMC Game Changer, brought to you by GMC. It's none other than Vince Calhoun.
Well, when they come to this new defense for Eastern, they're going to go 8 men in the box. The outside linebackers have Bradshaw, the quarterback. So Calhoun has the freedom, and he has to go and take that running back on the pitch. So all day long, you're going to see Calhoun on Walker, on Trainer, on the pitch guys.
Already 4 tackles for Vince Calhoun. Army on 3rd down. They're 2-2. There's a flag on the near side of the field. Bradshaw takes it in. They say touchdown as Bradshaw goes around the left side. 9-yard touchdown. Indication is offsides on Eastern Michigan.
Offside. Defense, number 8. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So McLean guilty again. It's a touchdown as Monken declines it. And Army's a point away from tying this one up at 7 apiece.
Brent Davis told us one of the things, if there's an 8-man front, that we have to do is run counter to slow down pursuit. It's exactly what they did there. Had the right tackle, Brett Toth, 78, pull and lead Bradshaw into the end zone.
So here's Blake Wilson on out of the hold of Zach Potter, and flags flying here.
Too many men on the field for Eastern Michigan. Yeah, they got 12 out there.
So Bradshaw, they've now changed it, saying officially a 10-yard touchdown.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 men in formation. Half a distance to the goal. Try for point.
So an interesting call here for Jeff Monken. You know, I move up. Now, do I go for 2?
Yeah.
I was at the Thursday night game, and we saw Philadelphia do that exact thing. They got the penalty. They moved up. They went for 2. Army's not going to do that.
Bradshaw on the bench as Potter's taken over those duties as the holder for Blake Wilson. And Eastern Michigan tried to get that one, but they couldn't, and the game is tied at 7 apiece. Ahmad Bradshaw, a 10-yard touchdown run on 3rd down. And Army has even the score at 7 apiece. 20th career rushing touchdown for Ahmad Bradshaw. 2:37 to go in the opening quarter. He's tied things up at 7 apiece. Let's get down to John Triffett, who's got an update on the Army sideline for us.
Well, when we spoke to Jay Bateman yesterday in our team meeting, he told us he knew he would need to make adjustments at some point during the game. Well, he's making the adjustments early. After that last drive by the offense of Eastern Michigan, he wants his guys to be more physical. He thinks the wide receivers of Eastern Michigan are getting too free of a jump off the line of scrimmage. He wants his guys to get their hands on them, disrupt their routes, and he said eventually we're just going to have to make a play because they're throwing these fades to the back of the end zone. Guys.
It's good stuff, John. That's what Toledo was able to do last week to these receivers. Jam them at the line of scrimmage, not allow them to get free releases, and make it difficult for Roback and to try and complete those fades.
There is Sexton waiting the kickoff. Nick Schrag. I know you saw last week what he did on the kickoffs with 2 tackles.
And a penalty.
He did get a penalty on the
I didn't think it was justified, though.
Of course you did. Sexton puts a foot in the ground. There's a flag down. He's dropped shy of the 20-yard line. We'll check the penalty from referee David Epperly.
Personal foul, illegal wedge on the return team. Half a distance to the goal, first down.
So that puts him in a deeper hole now, does that penalty, Jay?
Well, something that they try to do for protection of the players, take away these wedges. And a lot of times you'll see them come together. If they stay separated, you're going to see right there as you come together, you got 3 men now. And they're saying they came together into an illegal wedge. Right there, they're together. You have to be, so you can have 2 men, you can't have more than that.
So Brogan Roback and the offense were great on the opening possession. You're approaching 20 minutes of actual time since they've had the ball. After Army's long march down the field, Breck Turner the carry there. He was stopped by Cole Christensen. So Roback was perfect on that opening drive. 5 of 5 for 61 and the 15-yard TD pass to Sergio Bailey. Their drive took just 3:22, 8 plays and 75 yards for the Eagles. And a 3 on first down, 2nd and 7. Rollback. Nice grab over there by somebody on the Eastern Michigan support staff. It was intended for Sergio Bailey.
Justin Thomas is going to play a lot, covering the slots as the nickel back. They brought him on a blitz. Roback saw it, had to get rid of the ball through the incompletion.
Big play here coming up for Brogan Roback. See if they can convert this 3rd down. 27.6% on the season. Roback in trouble, flings it out there. Caught. He just heaved it up there, and it was reeled in by Bailey. How about that?
That was just a prayer. Roback's going back. Looks like he might get sacked for a safety, and he just chucks it up in the air. Bailey bails him out, answers that prayer. And Eastern gets a 1st down. For Army, you just got to go out and knock that ball away.
Prayer answered indeed. A 22-yard pickup. As Roback and Bailey in rhythm today. Erickson. Love to watch him run. He's just tough and hard-nosed and gritty, and he runs angry like he's mad at the ground or something, Jay. Product of Clarkston, Michigan.
I love that Eric Keene told us last week that he's kind of an ugly runner, you know.
That's
he gets it done as a compliment.
Yeah.
Just gets in there and gets it done.
Here they go again on the ground. He's getting it done again as Regan was on his back, and a huge pickup. 1st down run for Ian Erickson down to the Army 44-yard line. Gain of 23. They go quick into the hands of Jerron Johnson. Christensen finished him off. And the final half-minute of the opening quarter. Here's Erickson a couple plays ago.
Well, watch him just explode. Sees the hole, gets in that 2nd level. Here's that angry running right here. Running through arm tackles.
Regan took him down. Max had a very good game last week for Army. Had a pick 6 in that contest against Rice.
You're right, Ben, and he struggled against Tulane and then now had a good game in their last game, kind of coming into his own, understanding what to do. Big loss when they lost Ryan England to that Army defense, but Max Regan has stepped in and playing well.
Jay Bateman there talking his guys up. That's the end of the opening quarter. Here is the core of Cadets, 4,400 strong, and the Whites today. That's the end of the opening quarter here at West Point. We're tied up at 7 apiece between Eastern Michigan and Army. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network. Start of the second quarter here at Michie Stadium. Jay Feely, John Triff, and all of our crew. My name is Ben Holden. Jay, the story of the game there so far, 3 minutes in difference in time, but the same amount of plays for these two teams.
Two different ways to get it done. One passing the ball, one running the ball, although Eastern was effective in the first half. Ian Erickson, 5 carries, 40 yards, 8 yards a carry. They love to see that because that helps them have a little bit of balance.
And that 23-yard run on this drive as we begin the second. Eastern Michigan with the ball. 2nd and 6. Erickson's got it. Flag flies. Nautigal was on his back. He's short of the first down, depending on what this penalty is. He's short regardless. We'll check the marker, though, on the far side of the field as Monken looks on, awaiting the word as well.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
He had to have called the wrong number.
No 3 that plays.
Not on offense.
No. Number 3 for Eastern Michigan is Jason Beck on defense.
Right.
Nevertheless, it backs him up. 2nd down and 11. Pressure, it's picked up. They get Nautigal. Now takes a shot down the middle. Caught and Porter, touchdown! What an effort by Antoine Porter. Brogan Roback delivered the strike, and Porter, for the 2nd straight week, has a touchdown catch. It's a 45-yard play. The Eagles back up 13-7.
This play doesn't happen if number 25, Ian Erickson, doesn't pick up that block right there, right in the middle of your screen. That gives Roback the time to wait, get Porter open, and then he delivers a strike.
45-yard pass for Cano's money right down the middle. And it's a 14-7 Eastern Michigan lead.
2 yards on the drive.
Antoine Porter under it. And then held off Max Regan for the touchdown for Eastern Michigan, courtesy of Roback.
Jay Bateman's defense was in a cover 2 look. They got the safety, Max Regan, right here, who's playing for the injured Ryan England, and he's going to get caught looking the wrong way. Porter going down the middle, doesn't have enough time to get back and recover, and then not making the tackle either. That secondary struggling to cover these receivers downfield, and Jay Bateman frustrated. You can see he's over there trying to create some kind of matchup that favors his defense. After both touchdown drives, he's down there drawing on the whiteboard, trying to make adjustments.
Jesse Kelly boots it away. Kel Walker lets it go, and big play on that drive. It's a 92-yard drive for Eastern Michigan, Jay. It was really that heaving a prayer that they threw up. And, well, you got a chance here. Let's tell you about today's Mercedes-Benz player profile. It's none other than Connor Slumka, what he's done, the product of Wexford, PA. And a valuable part of their offensive attack this season.
It's their biggest fullback, their best short yardage back. The ability to have 4 guys come in there at the fullback position, be able to keep them fresh. One of the things that happened to Andy Davidson last year, he had such a strong start and he wore down.
Yeah.
Got injured, wore down. Having that depth allows them to keep these guys fresh and have that fullback production throughout the year.
Davidson's in there now. Davidson gets the ball, broke a tackle, good pickup. That's exactly what they want. A gain of 8 on first down. Kyle Rockwall on the all-name team. That's a great name for a linebacker, made the tackle.
It sure is.
It is, man.
It's like Steelhammer as a safety.
Weston Steelhammer, the former Air Force safety.
2nd and 2.
Michael Stonebreaker. I'm sure there's many more we could add to that list. That's exactly what Davis wants. He can get 8 yards a pop on first down. You're in the driver's seat, you'd think.
It would be a good down to take a shot. Second short.
Bradshaw fakes the handoff, keeps it. And Ahmad Bradshaw's got the first down out to the 44-yard line. Brody Hoying leading the charge on the tackle. The cousin of former Ohio State quarterback Bobby Hoying. Gain of 11 on the run for Bradshaw. And there's an injured Eagle down.
Desmond Kelly, defensive lineman from Baltimore.
The guys that plays a lot up front, they're going to tend to him. We'll take a short time out here as well as they tend to Kelly here at Michie Stadium.
The class has given $1 million to the Academy. Thank you to the class of 2002 for its outstanding support of West Point.
13:40 to play in this second quarter. 14-7 Eastern Michigan is they're on top. Pair of Brogan Roback touchdowns. The training staff got Desmond Kelly off the field. They're checking him on the tent on the far sideline as Ahmad Bradshaw and company have a 1st and 10. Today's 1st and 10 line is being brought to us by Golden Corral. Takes the handoff to Davidson. Bradshaw keeps. Good job by Eastern Michigan's defense. There really nowhere else to go for Bradshaw. Eric Williams among those leading the charge on the tackle. Gain of 5 for Bradshaw.
We've asked Brent Davis many times about their lack of passing. They only average 20 yards a game. That's last in the entire FBS. But he tells us why. Like, if I can run the ball and I can do it successfully and I can get first downs and we can win the game, why throw the ball? That's kind of their philosophy.
I agree with that. I got you. Darnell Woolfolk gets the carry. They told us he'd play about 10, 15 plays, right?
I agree with it too, Ben, going back to the point about not throwing the ball. But when you go up against teams that are very good, and you look at the next 5 games, Temple, Air Force, Duke, North Texas, Navy, you have to be able to throw the ball. You have to keep defenses from stacking the line. That's what Tulane did, and they were successful. And Army's inability to hit 1 or 2 big plays down the field, that cost them that game.
Last time we were in here, they surprised us a couple of times. 42-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Asbury. Ahmad Bradshaw does the job himself here, gets the first down after the fake. They got him down low. It was Vince Calhoun in there among those on the stop. But the Black Knights move the sticks as the march continues. A gain of 5 for Bradshaw. And that, going back to that UTEP game 2 weeks ago, was the first touchdown they'd thrown all year. And they surprised us a couple other times, specifically that 3rd and long in their own end. And they converted the first down. But I agree with you in the big picture. There's going to be times when they're going to have to throw it. Here's Walker. Good job by Eastern Michigan. Short gain of a couple there.
They started this year, going into the shotgun, bringing Kel Walker in, putting him back with Ahmad Bradshaw, and handing him off the ball. They do that because he can see the defense more. He told us in our meetings, when I get the ball from the shotgun, I can see the lanes. I have better vision. I know when to cut back, and it allows me to be more comfortable, similar to when he was in high school running the ball, instead of running out of that triple option, which blurs his vision. It's much tougher for him.
Yeah, Walker, a soccer player for most of his life, up until 8th grade, and played football. That was the back judge, Doug Smith. Good to see him back on the field. Here's Ahmad Bradshaw, keeps it. He gets another first down as Hoying was in there on his back. They move the sticks one more time, and there's Smith. Popped in the lip there, and he's a trooper being back out there.
Gain of 8 to the 32.
Connor Slumka checks in as the fullback. Turned out to be a great day here. It was cloudy and foggy this morning. Much of the clouds have broken. There are still some clouds, but sun's peeking through a little bit here on Michie Stadium. 21 runs so far in the game for Army. No passes. This will be a run again. 22. Nowhere to go. Great job as Beck came came over and finished them off.
Who else was there, Ben? Vince
Calhoun.
Yeah, and all day long we're going to see that matchup because Calhoun's job in this defense when you have 8 men up is to slide across the line. The outside linebacker's got to take Bradshaw, and Calhoun has to take the running back.
Yep.
He's got excellent speed and instincts. He's a really good player on that defense.
Really is. Product of Middletown, Ohio.
They told us he was the #1 safety on their recruiting board, so a huge get for that Eastern Michigan staff.
2nd and 10. Davidson in at fullback. They fake to him. Bradshaw keeps it again. Ahmad's done that a lot here on this drive. As the senior, Vince Calhoun again made the stop. That's now 6 tackles.
Gain of 9. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Bradshaw with the Army touchdown back in the opening quarter. They need a yard here, and they bring Woolfolk back in, number 33.
And Brent Davis knows he's in 2-down territory. They're not going to kick a field goal here unless something drastic would happen. But he knows I have 2 downs to get this 1st down, so his play calling is determined by that fact.
Army perfect on 3rd down. They're 4 of 4 to this point. Make it 5 of 5. Well, there is a flag down. Woolfolk has the 1st down. We have to check the marker first, though.
I think it's going to stay. Eastern Michigan was offsides.
That'd be the 3rd time today.
Offside. Defense, number 30. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
All right, there you go. Down to John Striffen with an update on Desmond Kelly of Eastern Michigan. John.
Well, guys, when they were taking him off the field, he couldn't put any pressure on his right leg. They brought him into the medical tent, examined him. He has now reemerged from the tent with an ice bag over his right knee. He has been ruled out. He is not coming back for this game, guys.
Thanks for the update, John. And the key guy that rotates in for that defense, very stout defense it's been this season for Chris Creighton's crew. 2nd time in the red zone for Ahmad Bradshaw. Pitches. Walker! Cal Walker gets into the end zone. Beautiful timing. Walker exploding 17 yards to the house. And we're a point away from a tie game again.
Plays,
4 touchdowns in the last 2 games for number 5.
Wilson on for the point.
He's just a different running back this year. You can see the explosion that he has that he didn't have in years past. He talked to us about how he changed his running style.
And Wilson puts it through 14 apiece.
Army getting the ball to their running back. Cal Walker exploding, diving into the end zone, tying this game up 14-14.
Tie game here, nearing the midway point of the 2nd quarter here at Michie Stadium on a beautiful West Point Saturday, 14 apiece. Monday night, 6 Eastern, our roster of former pro quarterbacks will break down Week 6 in the NFL. Get you inside the minds of the biggest stars in football. It's NFL Monday QB, delivered by FedEx, only on CBS Sports Network. Jay, something we talked about at the outset of the game was how Chris Creighton's guys are going to spread the ball around to a bunch of different wideouts, and Army's going to spread it around to a bunch of different running backs.
Yeah, to your point, 6 running backs have carried the ball for Army. 5 receivers have caught a pass for Eastern Michigan. 2 contrasting offenses, but both effective. We haven't seen a punt yet in the game.
We have not. Each team with a couple of touchdowns. Nick Schrag teed up from the 35. That confidence he got from that Buffalo game, that fake punt that he executed to convert the game and seal the deal, really has given him a lot of confidence. This is Sexton under a short kickoff as he's dropped about the 28.
If you ask me who's the most improved this year, I would say it's Nick Schrag. He's kicked off really well. He's done a good job punting, and then he had a huge 1st down to seal the game against Buffalo.
He did. Let's take a look now at this week's Where they're now brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. It's Army's Chad Davis, played running back for 3 seasons here along the banks of the Hudson River. Totaled 1,148 yards, 9 touchdowns, 21 starts, 19 in his final 2 years, and he's now down on the sideline with John Triffin.
Colonel Chad Davis. Now, we were talking earlier about one of your favorite memories from your playing days. It was actually, in fact, this very same team, Eastern Michigan, right?
It was. Actually, other than the 3 victories over Navy during my 4 years, it was a game we played Eastern Michigan, and we actually put all 4 phases of the game together. I had a fantastic time, a fantastic game. We won big, and it was just a great day.
Now, fill everybody in. What have you been up to since you graduated here?
Well, I've been all around the world as part of what the Army is. Most recently, I completed a time in Norway at the Joint Warfare Center for NATO and returned back to West Point to be an assistant athletic director. And hopefully this will be where I finish up my military career.
It's good to have you back on the sidelines here. I want your current impression of this year's West Point team.
This year's team is a fighting team. They put it all out there. They go 100% all the time. And they are more complete, they're more mature, they're part of a winning culture. And I think that's been the main difference. These guys are out here to play hard, leave it out here on the field, bleed a little while, get up and fight again.
Lieutenant Colonel Chad Davis, good to see you on the sideline again.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Ben?
Thank you, John. Thanks to Lieutenant Colonel Davis for his time and his service to our country as Eastern Michigan moves the sticks. Back-to-back carries there by Breck Turner as he's now getting the workload for the time being in that backfield. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns for these 2 teams. Brinson forcing the man out of bounds. There was Bailey.
Shaq Van is usually the other running back that you'd see. He got beat up in that Toledo game. Haven't seen him yet. He's there, he's dressed out, but we haven't seen him yet.
And he was very effective in that game on that touchdown drive they had on the touchdown pass to Porter in the second half. He had 35 yards, but he's really been dinged up for the last couple of weeks. And last year, Van was out for the year early in the season. So it's been Turner and Ian Erickson, of course, the majority of the workload at that spot this season. Roback dumps it off. This is Turner. Turner broke 1 tackle. They're after him. And a good job of pursuit there by Army. Washley and Regan get over to drop him there.
Team defense just rallied to the ball. They swing it out to Turner, try to get a few blocks out in front of him, but a good job by that Army defense rallying to the ball, making the tackle, bringing up 3rd and long.
I always like listening to Jay Bateman in our meetings. He talks about aggression. There's no other way to play defense, right?
You feeling me?
I'm with you. I'm with you now. 3rd and 10. Roback under pressure, incomplete. Look for Sexton. And it brings up 4th down.
Jay Bateman told us one of the things we want to do is get Brogan Roback moving out of the pocket. Watch, they bring the blitz. Roback has to move out of the pocket. And Bateman said he loses his accuracy. He's not near as good. You could see that on that. He had an opportunity. The ball was too high, and Army gets a stop.
So our first punt in the game.
4 different punters last week.
This is Ivan Araha.
He's their pooch punter. So they bring him in to pooch it down there, try and get it inside the 10.
The quarterback, Brogan Roback's their leading punter. Only team in college football can say a good job there on the punt there by Araha, I suppose, right?
Perfect execution by Araha. That's what they want him to do, end over end to control it. Get it down inside the 10. Army has the ball when we return.
Army West Point Athletics would like to thank today's
So the Army defense, they do their job on that last series. Bateman coaching his guys up as he always is there on the sideline. Coming up on the Ram halftime report, Adam Zucker, Rick Neuheisel, and Brian Jones will get you caught up on all the action in college football, including a preview of number 10 Auburn at LSU. Tigers in Death Valley on CBS at 3:30 Eastern. Also, the 2 games on CBS Sports Network tonight, ECU and number 22 UCF at 7 Eastern. They'll also look at number 19 San Diego State. They're taking on Boise State coming up tonight at 10:30. So the 3rd possession here, Jay, for Army in this game. They've been perfect so far. They'll start from their own 9-yard line. A good punt by Araha. Jalen Holt He's in there, but instead they hand it off to Walker. Cuts back inside. And Kel Walker with a gain of about 12. Mr. Michigan saying it's a fumble, but this play was blown dead on the field.
It's that zone read we were talking about. Getting Kel Walker back with Bradshaw in the shotgun, allowing him to get the ball. Here's the finish of the play.
Calhoun again.
Yeah, that ball comes out way late.
Yeah. So 8 for 68 and a touchdown for Kel Walker. Again, Walker gets it. Puts his head down. Now, how about what he told us yesterday? We met with Kel Walker and James Nautigal.
I referenced it.
You were tipped off to Nautigal's nickname, but I love the story about Kel Walker. Originally, his nickname, his original nickname, Calvin Hopkins gave him was 5 Stacks. He was trying to tweet something, and it went 5-star.
It auto-corrected.
Right, auto-corrected a 5-star.
And then that stuck.
Yeah.
So now it's 5-star. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Which, I mean, there's no 5-star generals. There's 4-star, but, I mean, at West Point, that's a pretty neat nickname, I think. Heavy hit there on Ahmad Bradshaw by Brody Hoying. It's going to bring down 3rd and long. John's got more on Kel Walker. John.
Well, Jay was mentioning this as we were going to break about how Kel Walker changed his running style. In the offseason, he said he watched his favorite player, Tavon Austin, current wide receiver with the Rams. They have a similar body type, about 5'9". He said he realized that Tavon Austin runs on his toes. So he switched over to start running on his toes, and he's found he has more explosive speed. He's able to actually outrun defenders once he gets through the hole. Guys?
Yeah. Fun talking to him. He was a very excited young man to come in and chat with us. And this play blown dead on 3rd down. Timeout taken by Army.
Army.
So you know what? We'll take one with him. 3:29 to go. 3rd and 7 facing Army when we return. 3:29 to play in quarter number 2. 14 all. Army with a 3rd and 7 coming up when we resume. Time now for our View of the Core. Brought to you by M-Core. Looking good down there today. The Cadets in the whites. Beautiful fall day here at Michie Stadium. 3rd and 7. All right, Feely. Do they throw it or run it?
Well, when we had a game here last time, I said, no way he throws it. I still think they're going to run the ball.
I got to take the other side just to be different. I'll say they throw it. They fake it. Ahmad Bradshaw greeted by Derek Williams, and they don't get there. So a good alert play by Williams to stop him short. And Eastern Michigan with all 3 of their timeouts.
I'd take one right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let the full 40 seconds run off the clock.
They bring on the punt unit. Nick Schrag comes on for Jeff Monken. Isaac Holder awaiting the punt. There he is, back just over his 30-yard line. First time he punted the game. He only had 2, 1 for each side so far. And it bounces at the 35 and goes out of bounds with 2:40 to go. And Eastern Michigan getting the football back. Little step aside, come back with a final 2:40. Brogan Roback leads his team back onto the field when we come back. Tomorrow on CBS, it's a great doubleheader day. First, Brady and the Patriots battle their bitter rivals, the Jets, and the Steelers look to slow down Alex Smith. And the NFL's only undefeated team left, the Chiefs. It all begins in the NFL today at 12 Eastern. And J. Charlie Batch, he slung the rock in Ypsilanti for quite some time. And, of course, Alejandro Villanueva now starting tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, played here.
Does not look like that anymore.
Not even close.
He's put on about 80 pounds since then.
Not even close. And there you see where Brogan Roback ranks in Eastern Michigan history in terms of passing yards.
Charlie Batch had over 11,000 as a pro.
Yeah. Your Detroit Lions. Here's Erickson, Michigan product, and
they're definitely your line.
Wow. Speaking of Michigan, my grandmother, Jane Foy, turned 87 yesterday. Grandma, happy birthday. I know you're watching. We talked yesterday, and the to give her a birthday shout-out. Today's 1st and 10 line being brought to you by Golden Corral here at Michie Stadium. Roback, Nautigal there to greet him, and not kindly. Visited with Nautigal yesterday. Fun getting to know him a little bit. He's had a good year.
He has had a great year. Really come into his own. Moved in that inside backer position, which was a lot more difficult for him, a lot more responsibility, more thinking. Hammer Sticks, that's his nickname, and he brought the hammer there.
He did. Some good nicknames on this year's Army team. 3rd and 6, minute 38, clock running here in this first half.
Bringing the blitz.
Gibson trying to get through. Roback flings it. Intercepted! Intercepted! Cole Christensen went down to get it. And a turnover for Army. They've got it with a minute 26 to play in the half.
Army brought James Gibson on the blitz, number 2. Watch Roback falling away. Doesn't step in. He's got room. He needs to step up and deliver that ball if he's going to throw into traffic. He's fallen away, throws it, doesn't take care of the ball, and Army gets a huge turnover with a minute 26 left.
And certainly Nautigal's played great. So has Cole Christensen as well.
At the 48.
And he's smiling. First and 10 here for Army. Minute 26 to go. Bradshaw looking to throw down the middle. He overthrows John Trainer.
It was a good overthrow because that was covered. And if Bradshaw takes a chance and throws it where his receiver can catch it, that might be an interception. You just got a turnover. You got sudden change. It was a good shot by Brent Davis. They covered it. The overthrow is fine.
Let's go down to John quickly. We had an update on the interception there by Army. John.
Well, what was so bizarre about that play was that Brogan Roback lost his right shoe on the previous play. So he was rushing to try to get his shoe back on. He didn't untie it. He just kind of slipped his foot in. And it didn't look like he even had his shoe completely on. And that was the foot he threw off, his back foot, to throw that interception.
All right. Sometimes I come out of my shoes, mainly on the golf course. Good job, Eastern Michigan here, as they do a good job on the defensive side there. They've got all their timeouts, Jay.
Again, I would use it. I mean, you're a quick strike offense with a quarterback who can throw the ball. Obviously, just threw an interception. You got 3rd and 7. Both teams content to let the clock run.
3rd and 7.
Roback talking things over. There's Cole Christensen, 9-yard return. That was a beautiful job by Christensen to get down and pull that one out of the air. Army's 5 of 6 on 3rd down. Bradshaw, the pitch. Walker gets a seam. Kel Walker's got the first down. Army marches on. They convert. Hoying the tackle. The clock stops for the time being until they set the sticks.
There's no question the most dangerous player on Army's offense is Kel Walker. He's become an explosive option for this team.
Pick up a 14 there. Again, bangs off a defender and then gets buried.
Walker, the ball carrier.
Eastern Michigan. Ike
Timeout,
Spearman.
Army, their second. 30-second timeout.
Quick timeout. 30-second timeout called by Monken. Will step aside as well with 18 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 8 facing Army with 18 seconds remaining in the half. They've got 1 timeout left. And before we go any further, we want to remind you Armed Forces Football proudly supported by Golden Corral. What are you looking for here, Jay?
Well, you're trying to get a little bit closer. There's 18 seconds. You got a timeout. Blake Wilson's long is 46, but I watched him go back past 50 in warm-ups. He's got the leg from here, but you like to get him a little closer.
Bradshaw taking a look at Jenkins, the target. Can he get it? Knocked away. It was McGill back there, the sophomore. We talked about him earlier, who's done such a good job.
So Brent Davis decided, Ben, to take a shot.
Yep.
You know, he took a shot down the field, try and catch him coming up to stop the run. They weren't able to complete it. Now you need to get some yardage. So it's 3rd down, run the ball, try to get some yardage, call a timeout, and then probably bring your kicker in.
So Roback watching, hoping his defense can hold and hold Army off the board here. 3rd and 8. Bradshaw taking a look to the right side. Knocked away. It was Cam Harrison, the intended target. Ross Williams knocked it down. 4th down coming up.
2 interesting calls to take shots back to back. I like the first call going for a shot, trying to catch him looking into the backfield. The second one, I would have thought they would have ran the ball there and got some room for your kicker to try and get him forward and give him an opportunity to kick a field goal and give you the lead before halftime. They have not brought Blake Wilson onto the field yet.
No, they haven't.
Which I'm surprised. He can make this. It's a 50-yard field goal.
So Calvin Hopkins is in the game now.
Got a stronger arm.
He does. And we get a timeout taken.
Jeff Monken wants to think about it a little bit more.
Yep. He'll talk it over.
Timeout. Eastern Michigan.
Chris Creighton took the timeout.
30-second timeout.
Calvin Hopkins came in there. Maybe that threw a little wrinkle in him. Want to talk it over. Monken giving it to his guys.
If I'm the kicker in this situation, I know Jeff Monken doesn't love talking to his kicker.
Let me go in, coach.
I'm up there telling him, I can make this. You know, they always have a yardage. You know what you're comfortable back to. The coaches know. But at the end of the half, that's different. You know, you may have a yardage during the game, and it may be, say, the 35-yard line. It's a 53-yard field goal. That's usually where I was at. But that's not the longest you can make in this situation. I watched Blake Wilson warm up both ways, and he definitely has enough leg to make this.
Well, his career-long 47 last November the 19th against Morgan State. You mentioned the 46-yarder this season. And the offense is coming back on, Jay. It looks like one heave-ho to the end zone. Four wide for Army. I don't know if I've ever said that. Hopkins pressured, flings it out there, got a man, and it's knocked down. It's knocked down as the cannons go off, and that's the end
of the first half.
An entertaining first half, Jay.
Certainly was. An Army, I think, if they hadn't taken a shot there, got a few more yards, they could have tried a field goal. Both these offenses moving down the field, scoring points. We got a good ball game.
We do. Jeff Monken and his guys are going to the room, tied up with Brogan Roback in Eastern Michigan. 14 apiece. That's the end of the first half. With the score, Army 14, Eastern Michigan 14. You're watching college football from Michie Stadium on CBS Sports Network. Time here at Michie Stadium, beautiful West Point, New York. Tie game, Eastern Michigan out of the Mid-American Conference, and Army tied up at 14 apiece. Brogan Roback, 2 touchdowns in the first half through the air. This one, a beautiful pass, but how about the effort at the end from Antoine Porter, dragging the Army defender into the end zone, Max Regan. This ball game is tied up at 14 apiece. Back with more of halftime and the second half right after this. Inching close to the start of the second half here at Michie Stadium. Tie ball game between Eastern Michigan and Army here at Michie Stadium. We welcome you upstairs to our broadcast position alongside my broadcast partner Jay Feely, John Triffin on the field, all of our crew. My name is Ben Holden, and Jay, in that first half, we saw Roback throw a couple touchdowns. We talked about him at the outset of the show. And then Kel Walker and Ahmad Bradshaw, we also talked about them at the outset of the show.
Not
they scored.
A surprise.
Yeah,
what happened?
Yeah.
Eastern Michigan, they're going to throw fades, and Army's going to run the ball, both being effective, about 200 yards each, a couple of touchdowns, and we got a tie game.
Good ball game. Big game for both these teams. Eastern Michigan trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, and Army trying to get to 5-2 for the second straight year. So these are big, big quarters coming up.
This second half is going to be big for each of these teams going forward and what they want to do, trying to get to back-to-back bowl games. You can see Army, no passing yards. That's not a surprise. 141 passing yards for Eastern Michigan, 65 rushing yards. They ran the ball better than I thought they would.
All right, so the numbers and the key moments from half number 1 set to go here in the third quarter. As Eastern Michigan will kick it away. Kel Walker back deep along with John Trainer for Army. Brogan Roback Have to wait, see if his defense can make a stop before he gets his hands on the football here in the third quarter. From the 8, Walker took a heavy shot, 22-yard line. Let's go down to John Schriffen, who had a chance to talk with both coaches at halftime. John.
Ben, let's start with Eastern Michigan's Chris Creighton. He told me, look, this is exactly the kind of game we expected. It's going to go down to the wire. It's about finishing this game off like they haven't been able to do in their previous 3 games. As for Army, now Coach Monken described what happened at the end of the half there. He said, look, we were in a 3rd down situation where if we ran the ball and only got a few yards, it would have left us with about a 48-yard field goal into the wind. I didn't feel comfortable with that. That's why he ran the pass play. On defense, he wants more pressure on the quarterback. He thinks Brogan Roback has way too much time. Ben?
Excellent. Thank you, John. Bradshaw gives it off to Walker. Kel Walker takes it out to the 33-yard line.
Well, this is what Eastern Michigan is trying to do. Normally they run the 4-2-5, but you're going to see 2 corners out wide, and then Calhoun in the middle, and his ability to find the running back. They got to come up, and linebackers have to hit Bradshaw, and then Calhoun's got to track the running backs. Made a nice hit there. But Kel Walker adding on to what he did against Rice. Another big half for him.
Calhoun had 7 tackles to lead Eastern Michigan in that first half. Here goes Army again. It's Walker and a huge run inside of Eastern Michigan territory as Army marches on.
They love to put, we've been talking about it, Walker in the backfield when they're in shotgun and hand him off the ball. Zone reads, he understands he can go outside. Said he has better vision. And then that speed, running on his toes like John Schriffen talked about, exploding into the second level. At 87 yards in the first half. He's got 120 now, and another big game for Kel Walker.
And a career high 127 last week on 10 carries. And 3 touchdowns. This play blown dead before it gets going. It's going to be backed up 5 against Army.
Ball start. Offense. Number 6. 5-yard penalty. First down.
John Trainer moving early. Monken eyes him as he comes off.
Because those penalties kill the triple option. When you fumble the ball, even if you get it back and you lose yardage, if you have penalties that back you up, their whole offense is predicated on getting ahead in the sticks, being ahead, getting second and short, third and short, and now you back yourself up, put yourself in a hole.
Walker, nowhere to go, gets away, but there's a swarm of Eastern Michigan defenders there to take him down. They're going to give him progress to the 49. Jeremiah Harris, who's had a great year along with Max Crosby on their defensive line, involved in the stop, a loss of 5.
Kel Walker was slow getting up, and he's got his head down. He took a shot there.
He did. Took a shot on the kick return, too.
He's 5'9", 195 pounds, not the biggest guy. He's going to come off the field here, get a little breather.
Loss of 5 to 2nd and 20.
Fred Cooper will come in to replace him. First time he's been in the game today, number 27, Cooper.
Freshman from Texas is good, too.
He's in motion. Misdirection. Bradshaw trying to get away. That pursuit again is outstanding. Derek Williams was the first to get to him and got some help there finishing him off from Harris.
The counter did not fool Eastern Michigan's defense on that play. It got him in the first half. Army was able to score a touchdown.
Loss of 1.
So it's 3rd and a mile now. They need to get down to the 31-yard line.
And that's why that penalty was so huge that first down. It backs you up, puts you at 1st and 15. Now you're behind. You can't really run your offense the way you want to. And now you end up in 3rd and long. And this offense is not built to get 3rd and longs. Now I would think Army's just trying to get to the 35 or so, and then they can go for it on 4th down.
Kalen Holtz in the ball game. Bradshaw fakes a handoff. Bradshaw trying to get a chunk. And Calhoun's there. And he gets it down to about the 43-yard line on the run. So 4th down coming up.
4th and 12. That's a little too far to go for it on 4th down.
Gain of 9. Watch this run here, the end of it, Jay.
Close to a face mask. They bring in Zach Potter to punt. He's more their pooch punter. Doesn't have the fake ability that Nick Schrage has in running it.
It's the second Army punt of the game. Schrag's first was 39. They're going to fake it! Over the middle, it's dropped! Oh, wide open and right into the hands. And it is dropped. They had it. Potter knew it. And Thomas couldn't hang on to it, Feely.
Perfect execution. I talked about the fact that Potter didn't have the running ability that Schrag has, but he has the throwing ability. Look at the beautiful spiral. That is a perfect throw, and the inability of Army to come up with the big play. Potter knew he had it. They weren't able to pull it down. He was already celebrating. Big mistake by Army.
14 apiece, the score remains after the fake punt attempt. The pass was dropped. Potter delivered a perfect ball in there, but they couldn't convert. Next Saturday, these Army Black Knights back on the gridiron here at Michie Stadium. They'll host the Temple Owls at noon Eastern. We'll be here with you. It's all right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And Jay, we've got the camera. It's a fixture with Brent Davis. His reaction on the play.
He knows they had it. Can't believe it. That was a big drop by Justin Thomas. A DB. You know, they always say DBs are receivers that couldn't catch the ball, and they moved him on to defense.
Well, sure, he'd be the first to tell you he should have caught that one. We play on. Good field position for Brogan Roback. Roback's 11 of 14, 141 and 2 touchdowns. There's Erickson. And Erickson continues to just push and lean and churn those legs. They finally blow this thing dead. What an effort by Erickson. Fun to watch him. He's old school.
Averaged over 7 yards a carry in the first half.
6 on that one. I've not seen Shaq Fan, who has been injured much of the last couple of years for Eastern Michigan. They're one of the running backs. Quick throw to the outside. It is Jerron Johnson with the catch. It's a first down as Roback delivers. Johnson, a walk-on that was given a scholarship in a Lions game. They did it on the Jumbotron. He was totally shocked as they go quick here. Erickson churning and burning those legs to the 34-yard line he goes.
Eastern Michigan was successful on the first drive of the first half, going tempo after a nice completion, hurrying to the line, getting a run, getting 5 or 6 yards. They got 7 on that carry.
Yeah. Inside of 10 to play in the third quarter in a tie game. Roback pulls out, delivers a straight flag down, caught. It is Bailey. Sergio Bailey takes it in. There's a flag back near the 35-yard line, a 34-yard play if it stands.
It's not going to stand. This is holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
It's on the center, Dakota Tallman. Costly penalty there.
Right in the middle of your screen, the center. Comes across. They go with the zone read. Just kind of grabs and tackles, and anytime you bring somebody to the ground, you're almost always going to get a holding call. It was a great run by Bailey. Nice throw by Roback, and that's a big penalty.
Indeed it is on the redshirt junior. Bailey, 5 grabs for 69 in the touchdown. He had the Eagles' first touchdown of the game, a 15-yard fade pass he caught. Roback. They give it off, and that goes for about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Nautigal on the tackle on Ian Erickson there. So third down coming up, third and long.
You're not really in field goal range, even if you get most of the yardage. Paulie Fagrano, his long is 46 yards. It's the same way Jeff Monken is skewed a long field goal at the end of the first half.
Eagles 1 of 3 on third down. Roback under pressure, it's knocked down. Brinson got in there, applied the pressure, did Kenneth Brinson.
They didn't blitz, they had a 4-man line. Just getting pressure right at the top of the line right there. Watch Brinson come down, beat the tackle underneath, a nice little move, and get in the backfield, knock that pass down, force a punt.
Araha formation.
Raha's on.
Army.
It's a punt. 33-yard punt. His first effort. A good job in that one. He got that one away to pin Army deep, and he might have just done it again here. He has. They down it just across the 5.
Beautiful punt by Raha, putting Army inside the 5-yard line. And the Black Knights go down and get the lead when we return.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Ram Trucks, proven to last. By Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. And by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
I mean, Jay, John Schriffin's down there on the sidelines. I mean,
Yeah, John, you like your athleticism. You tell us how great of a basketball player you are. Let's see it.
Army will start for the 3rd time inside of their own 10-yard line after a great punt of 36 yards by Araha of Eastern Michigan. Starting in the backfield, the fullback left side of your screen there, Andy Davidson. Here they go to work. Davidson got a good lead and was able to get about a 3.5-yard pickup.
8 men in the box again. 2 corners outside in man coverage and 1 safety, Calhoun, who's coming downhill. So they're daring you to throw the ball. They're daring you to try their corners, trying to stuff inside on the run with 8 guys in the box and then let Calhoun flow to the running back.
Eagle defense came in 5 games, averaging just a skosh over 18 points a game. Much improved on that side of the ball is Chris Creighton's team. Bradshaw right on cue. That Eastern Michigan defense does the job again, brings up 3rd down.
They have 8 returning starters in the Eastern Michigan defense. 86% of their total tackles from last year. Everyone's played, they're experienced, they understand the defense. That's why Neil Netherly said they've been so successful as a defense. This team has lost 3 games back-to-back, but this defense has played well all year.
They have. Last week held Toledo to their lowest point total in a couple of years. Toledo was averaging 42 a game, and they held them to 20 in their stadium. 3rd down. Black Knights. Bradshaw to the open field. Bradshaw gets away from Hoying. Still on his feet. Bradshaw inside of the 20 before Jason Beck takes him down. Ahmad Bradshaw. His career-long run was 71 yards. This one a beautiful run halfway through the 3rd to set up Army in the red zone. 69-yard run.
And that is a 1st down.
And he's got tough physical runner. Doesn't really have breakaway speed, but you can see Ahmad Bradshaw exploding into that 2nd level. Nice little cutback. Huge play for that Army offense.
1st and 10. Woolfolk. Brent Davis said yesterday he's in the game. He's going to touch it more likely than not. He did there.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because they don't want the fullback position. If you don't get it, you run into that line and you get hit and you get hit. And they don't want him taking unnecessary hits coming back from that injury that he suffered against Ohio State.
So Ahmad Bradshaw, his legacy continues to grow here at Army. 15 carries, 142 yards, and a touchdown. What Army's done in the red zone, perfect today. Here's Woolfolk. And has the 1st down. It's going to bring up a 1st and goal for Brent Davis and the Army offense.
Ahmad Bradshaw has been effective running the ball all year. Against Rice, 115. Against Fordham, the first game that we did, 177.
Yeah.
147 against Buffalo. Even 50 yards against Ohio State. I mean, this is a guy who's tough, physical. The biggest thing he's done is not turn the ball over.
Right.
He only had 2 fumbles this year. 1 was recovered by the defense. So he's protecting the ball, making good decisions, facilitating that triple option offense.
1st and goal. Darnell Woolfolk in the game. 4 touches, make it 5 now. Woolfolk gets it down there to the 2 to bring up 2nd and goal. And 5 on the run for Jeff Monken's guys. 5.5 to play in the third, a tie game.
Eastern Michigan had punted this ball down inside the 5-yard line. That's where this drive started. Woolfolk leaves the game.
Slumka's in for him.
I said earlier, Slumka's their strongest, their biggest back, and their best at short yardage.
Slumka. He gets it. Plows his way in. Bulldozing over the defender. Another touchdown for Connor Slumka. 2-yard touchdown run, and the Cannons go off at West Point. So do the push-ups.
Enormous drive by the Black Knights. 3rd down, back around their own 10-yard line. Bradshaw hits him with the big run. Slumka puts it in, gets the big touchdown.
Wilson trying to make it a 7-point game. And he does just that with 5:03 to play in the third quarter. So Ahmad Bradshaw with a 69-yard run to set it up, Jay. Looking like Superman here.
He just keeps doing it. He keeps running the ball. You know they're going to run it, and you can't stop him. And then you give it to your fullback and allow him to bulldoze into the end zone for the lead.
And at this point, please direct
21-14 Army. Ahmad Bradshaw, Kel Walker, both over 100 yards, and some key miscues in this second half. Fake punt, Potter delivered a strike. Thomas couldn't hang on, and then Eastern Michigan had their own.
Yeah, big play to Bailey for the touchdown, but Tallman was called for holding. Army took that, went 96 yards down the field, and Slumka cashed it in for the touchdown.
Set up Bradshaw with a 69-yard run, 2 yards shy of his career long that was earlier this season here at home in that Fordham game you referenced when he had over 170 in that game total. 94-yard drive, a 93-yard drive earlier as Matthew Sexton awaits the kickoff from Nick Schregg. See if Roback and this Eastern Michigan offense said, look, that first drive of the game, if you weren't with us, they couldn't have been much better.
Yeah, I called it surgical. I mean,
was.
They just went right down the field. Roback did not have an incompletion.
5 for 5 on that drive, he was. Capped it off with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Bailey. Here's Sexton. Sexton, good run back. Gets out over the 20.
Sexton on return.
4:53 to go in the third. Only 56 days to go in the countdown to America's game, the Army-Navy game, presented by USAA on CBS Sports. First weekend in November, Jay, will be at Air Force to see Army take on the Falcons in Army's first leg of the CIC.
Number 1 goal on their board is to win the CIC trophy. It's been a long time since they did that. It's a good Army team. They're going to have an opportunity this year.
Time of possession, Army 27 minutes. Eastern Michigan on the wrong end of that, but they're only down a touchdown as Bailey wanted a flag.
Intended for Bailey.
He didn't get it.
Reynolds in on the coverage.
Reynolds was there to cover. 2nd and 10 coming up.
2nd and 10.
So you got a
Little bit
case?
of contact. You could have called it. You could have thrown it. It wasn't egregious.
Roback 12 of 17 for 151 and 2 touchdown passes. On the ground, here go the Eagles. Erickson, good run to pick up the first down.
Erickson on the carry.
And Erickson continues to play well, that tailback spot for the Eagles.
Huge hole on the left side. Watch this hole just open up.
First down.
Erickson gets through there untouched, and he trips right here. Otherwise, it might have been a big run.
Bit of a toe pick. 12-yard gain there for Erickson.
Blitz off the corner.
Flag flies. Erickson's got it. Short pickup if it counts. Scott Washley on the stop.
I think McClinton, he was blitzing. I think he was offsides.
Offside. Defense. Number 7. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Catch by you, Jay.
See McClinton right here coming off the corner blitzing. Just doesn't time it right. It's in there a little too early.
Correction, first down.
Referee today, ACC crew David Epperly. Greg Turner in the backfield next to Rogan Roback. Turner. Nautigal took a swing at him, a swipe trying to get him. He got away, and then he ended up finishing him off anyways. Armed Forces Football, proudly sponsored by USAA. Jay Bateman's always good for a couple quotes in our meetings. He told us yesterday about Nautigal. He said, after a couple games of him playing, he said, we got to get this dude on the field.
It's just too good to be sitting on the sideline. They got him starting out, their Mike linebacker, and he's rewarded his faith. Against UTEP, had 11 tackles, was all over the field.
6 tackles in this game. And a first down run. They get it to the 45-yard line. It was Breck Turner again. Washley and McClinton on the tackle.
Nautigal, he goes 6 foot, 235, solid. Ran the 100 meters in high school, which surprised me when he told us that.
Good athlete. 5 solo tackles and a sack at Ohio State. That's really when Bateman's eyes were opened in that game. 15 Army first downs, 13 for Eastern Michigan to this point. Erickson on the carry. Pick up a 4. Raymond Wright on the stop. Army without Andrew McLean. And then their starting nose guard. Chris Creighton hoping his offense can get something on the scoreboard on this drive. Erickson. Nowhere to go. Greeted by a host of black shirts. Nautigal leading the charge again.
Washley and Nautigal there to stop.
Washley helping out too. So 3rd down and 5 coming up for Eastern Michigan. They're just 1 of 4 on 3rd down are the Eagles.
Up top, Sergio Bailey. Single coverage up top. He's your best receiver.
Roback takes a look to him. There he is. Got it. First down, Eastern Michigan. Dropped at the 38-yard line by Jalen McClinton.
McClinton made the stop.
Anytime I get Sergio Bailey single covered, I would go to him.
Sure
would. They
would.
run this offense where they go look to the sideline.
In at 12, here's Sexton with a catch, got some room, gets away. Matthew Sexton, he stepped out of bounds though. They're spotting him out at the 24-yard line. And another first down, Eastern Michigan, gain of 14.
We talked about press coverage, getting up there. John Schriffen mentioned it. Watch the bail technique here and just allowing Sergio Bailey to have a free release off the line. That was the first down play.
This is Erickson. 3-yard pickup there, tackled by Nautigal. He's having quite a third quarter. I've been calling his name a lot. Inside of a minute remaining in this third quarter. 8 tackles in the game now for James Nautigal. Erickson forced out of bounds by McClinton, but he's got the first down for Eastern Michigan.
Interesting this drive, they've been running behind that left side. When we talked to Aaron Keene, offense coordinator, he said the right side was really good, the left side's developing.
Yeah.
They've been running the ball left on this drive.
Gain of 9 on that play to the left. Oyatuga runs onto the field there, 91 on the right side of the defensive line for Army. Clock winding down. 11th play of the drive, but they're going to run the 11th play when the 4th begins.
Timeout.
We'll switch ends, and Army takes a 7-point lead into the 4th. They call themselves the fourth quarter Warriors. We'll see what happens when we come back. right, look at the key moments in the game put together by the folks in our tape room. We appreciate that. Jay, what stands out the most for you in our game summary to this point?
Well, Erickson, 87 yards rushing. That's a great game for him. Only had 142 coming into this game. But both these teams have played well offensively. Eastern Michigan driving. Who's going to finish in the fourth quarter? Something that Eastern has struggled with over the last 3 games.
They have. We saw them last week at Toledo. They lost that game by 5. They lost to Ohio by 7. They have another close one against Kentucky. This is their chance.
And Army, one of their goals, win the fourth quarter. Every game they've been excellent in the fourth quarter this year and last year.
Brogan rollback, first play of the fourth quarter. This drive, 10 plays, 66 yards to this point. 4:53 of elapsed time. It started on their own 22-yard line. Erickson, left side.
Erickson's carry, hit by McClinton.
Good pickup on first down. Jalen McClinton there on the stop. As he approaches on. See, I just love his look. He looks like a football player.
He does, and he plays tough, physical, hard runner. It's an excellent game.
Second and 6. 12th play of the drive for Roback coming up. Erickson 15 for 91 in the ball game. On the ground. Roback chucks it open. Man, out of the end zone though was Sexton. He caught it, but he was well out of bounds. Just too much air under that ball. Reynolds on the coverage. 3rd and 6 coming up.
And Roback just has to lead him. He's got the entire wide side of the field in that end zone wide open. He doesn't need to throw it with air underneath it. Just lead it out in front of your receiver and let him catch it. Watch as Roback comes here. There's so much room, and he just throws it again off his back foot and chucks it up in the air instead of stepping into it and delivering a touchdown pass.
Eagles are 2 of 5 on 3rd down. Roback 14
Bailey's up top,
20.
single covered.
Roback looking the other way. Rolls, points, fires, caught, touchdown! Beautiful job by Roback, directing traffic, and this one from Sexton counts an 8-yard touchdown pass. It's 21-20.
You called it, Ben. It was spectacular what Roback did. Rolling to his right, the route wasn't open. He told Sexton where to go, cut back inside, and then threw a strike, getting them within a point.
Like the schoolyard, right?
Absolutely. Just go that way. I got you.
Here's Fricano trying to tie this thing up, and he does. 21 apiece early on in the fourth quarter. 3rd touchdown pass in the game for Brogan Roback. Looked off one, rolled, said, go there. I'll put it there, and he did. Sexton with a catch. We're tied at 21. Time now to check in with our Chick-fil-A fan cam to see how the fans are reacting. And well, it is sponsored by Chick-fil-A, so fitting there's chicken in there. So here's a look back, Jay, at Matthew Sexton on the touchdown catch of 8 yards.
You're going to see, just runs a little fade, waiting for the ball. Looking in the end zone. Here he is right here. 2 guys covering him, and he's going to run into the inside, following the direction of his quarterback. Nice throw by Roback, tying this game up.
Army defense. And there's Sexton, who thought he was pretty good last week for them. Made a couple of big catches. That one-handed grab he made at Toledo. Just a youngster, local product. Ypsilanti, Michigan is where Eastern Michigan is at. For those that don't know, he's not too far away from there, his hometown. Walker gets smoked on the return. The Eagles enthused.
They're just not doing a lot on these kickoff returns. Just having Walker run straight ahead, trying to double team, and he's just getting hit. He's taking big hits, and for a guy who's so explosive, the most explosive player on your offense, you don't want to see him taking hits like that.
Yeah, he's taken some heavy ones, specifically in the second half. One in the third quarter to begin the half.
First and 10 Army at 17.
And then that one there you mentioned. Today's first down line being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. 55 seconds gone in the fourth quarter. Darnell Woolfolk is in the ball game, lined up behind Bradshaw. That's the Rock. Greeted by Kyle Rockwall first, number 51. And they bury Woolfolk there, no flag.
They're lucky they didn't get a flag because that was late. It was well after the play, and you finished and rolled over them. I thought they might throw an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Kyle Rockwall led their team in tackles last year with 109. 8 tackles against Army when these teams met 2 years ago, did Rockwall. Second down and 6 for Bradshaw on the offense. Davidson, the fullback. Tough run there, a first down for Army. Bradshaw kept it there on a really good fake. Rockwall the tackle, but they moved the chains.
You're right, Ben. I thought Davidson had a nice fake. They bring Kel Walker around the corner. He's the lead blocker, and then a nice gain for the first down.
I'm not going to lie. I thought he had it too initially.
And that's what you want. That's
it was a great fake.
Put it in there in the mesh, and then just pull it out last second.
So good at it. Just the experience, watching him grow up. Still remember the first time we met with Ahmad Bradshaw. He didn't want anything to do with that meeting room. Now he comes in, he owns it. When he comes in to see us, hands off here. And they burrow forward, does Slumka. Good luck tackling him.
5 to the 35.
There's Monken on the sideline. 12.5 to play in the game. Big game for both teams. Army trying to get to 5-2 for the first time in back-to-back years since 88-89. Eastern Michigan has lost 3 close games after a 2-0 start. Darnell Woolfolk, there you see him behind Ahmad Bradshaw.
Expect him to get it.
He does. The big fella's got the first down. They did exactly what they wanted. Stay on schedule, move those chains.
At some point, that defensive staff has to recognize when Woolfolk is in there, he's getting the ball and get that defense to key on him.
This coaching staff of Eastern Michigan. Neil Nethery has been with Chris Creighton for a while, many years, and trying to stop this Army triple option. To the 44 goes Kalen Holt.
Holt on the carry.
It's Creighton.
He's done a phenomenal job in Eastern Michigan. Such a tough place. You know, you live there.
Yep.
So hard being stuck in between Michigan and Michigan State, and then the other MAC schools as well.
Yeah.
A difficult place to recruit. He came in there. They wanted to change the culture. He's done that. They brought people and coaches and players that care about their team, that have a passion for football.
2-10, then he went 1-11, and things started to turn around for him after that. Into a bowl game last year for the first time since '87. Again on the ground, that was Davidson. Third down coming up. Quickly we go down to John.
You know, Chris Creighton equates building this program to moving a boulder. He said in the second year, he finally got everybody on the same page, pushing the boulder in the same direction. He said in his third year, they finally got some movement on that boulder to really discover what was underneath it. He said this year, they've got to realize that they still have a lot of work left to do. They're trying to make it to a bowl game for the first time, 2 straight bowl games for the first time in school history.
That'd be a big accomplishment for him, John, no doubt about it. Army 7 of 10. Here they go. Davidson takes the toss, and he's going to be a yard short.
They're going to go for it.
At the 50-yard line. You didn't even hesitate,
No
man.
doubt in my mind that Brent Davis and Jeff Monken, they believe in analytics. Analytics tells them you have a greater chance of winning going for it on 4th downs. They've been so aggressive this year on 4th down. 13 for 17, 76%, which is just phenomenal on 4th down.
Here they go. 0 for 2 on 4th down to this point is Army. All they need's a yard. Slumka's got about 3. First down. The march continues.
First down, Army. Brought to you by Encore.
Brent Davis talked about the change in their philosophy, knowing that they're going to go for it on 4th down, how much that's helped him as a play caller when you have 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, knowing I don't have to get it. There's Brent Davis right there.
He's got the towel going now.
The towel, the glasses. Got the cool guy look going.
I love it. Woolfolk back in the game. This will be the 9th play of the drive, started at their own 17. Darnell Woolfolk, Beck greeted him first. Woolfolk, ball came out. Play was blown dead. Pickett was hoping it was live, but believe this play was blown dead. So here's this tough situation when you're the opposition. It's an injured Eastern Michigan player down. When Army gets it and they're moving it like this, they're tough to stop. Injury timeout. 2nd and 7 for Army when we return. So the injured player there looks to be fine. Jalen Pickett, they wrapped him up. Just put some tape on it. Ready to go.
On it.
Yep, exactly. Kick off your weekend with an intense rivalry. NFL's top team, Kansas City, takes on Oakland. Chiefs have won 5 straight against the Raiders, but Oakland should be ready to go against Alex Smith and company. You'll be there, Jay, with Jim Nance, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson, and you know this guy, Bob Sutton, very well.
He'll be there, the defensive coordinator, one of the best defensive coordinators in all of football. I was with him with the Jets. He's got a lot of Buddy Ryan in him. Rex Ryan, that defense, aggressive. He wants to get after you, put pressure on you, and his Chiefs are rolling.
So what Army's done, that 3:51 drive had the 69-yard run by Bradshaw. Otherwise, that thing would probably be 3 or 4 minutes longer.
You know, that's the thing. If Army gets a 1st down here and keeps going, they take off so much time on the clock. It might not leave you much to try and recover.
It's always something the opposition has to be concerned with when you face this triple option number 3 team in the country in terms of rushing yards per game. Rockwall finishes off Ahmad Bradshaw. Calhoun helping as well.
One of our earlier games, John Schriffen did a report on Bradshaw and how he changed the way he holds on to the ball and why he's been so successful, only fumbling the ball twice this year. And I mentioned it earlier. I mean, they had 31 fumbles last year, 38 the year before. It's such a big, big part of their success.
Army 7 of 11 on 3rd down. Slumka has the 1st down according to the mark. Spearman on the tackle. They've not moved the change yet, but were they spotted that? Yeah, there you go. Now they move them. 1st and 10 Army, so the march continues.
Is a 1st down.
Fred Cooper there talking with Mike Vitti. Well, that's Jeff Monken. My apologies. There's Vitti.
Ball for 37.
Mike coaches the fullbacks. He's an outstanding one in his playing days here at West Point. 1st and 10 Army. Davidson leans forward for about a 3.5-yard pickup. Today's 1st down line being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. About that stat we were just handed, 61 plays for Army from scrimmage.
0 turnovers.
Yeah.
That was one of my keys.
Exactly, that's why I slid that over to you. Here's Bradshaw trying to slither his way through there. Eastern Michigan defense, short pickup. Spearman on the tackle, leading the charge. LaBarbera helping out as well. He comes out. So 3rd down again. Chris Creighton's team trying to come up with a stop.
Ball is on the 32-yard line. This is 2-down territory here. Brent Davis knows it. He's calling the plays, knowing that he'll go for it on 4th down if they don't get it.
8 for 12 are the Black Knights on 3rd down. Kalen Holtz, a fullback. Hawaiian punch, as he's known. Bradshaw keeps got a hole, not through there. He's got a 1st down. Kyle Rockwall the tackle, but Bradshaw moves the chains, gain of 13.
And that is a first down. Brought to you by Amcor.
Such a big change for this team, not having any turnovers. Watch the blocking here as Bradshaw comes around the corner for the keeper. Excellent job, sealing block, getting the first down. Big hole for Bradshaw to run through. Jalen Holt had that big block to set him free.
He did. Hawaiian, that was some Hawaiian punch.
That's right.
19 carries for Bradshaw. This time he hands off Ahmad. Bradshaw 171 and a touchdown. Slumka with a carry there as they wear and wear on Eastern Michigan.
That's a good point, Ben, because when you're out there for such long drives, you get worn down. The defense is tired. You're sucking wind. You know they're coming at you, just hitting you, pounding you with that triple option.
Gain of 6 on the run by Connor Slumka. Rockwall needs a breather. Indeed, wearing down. Darnell Woolfolk in it. Fullback. He's got the rock. Woolfolk barrels his way. What a run! How's that for finishing a run? Darnell Woolfolk, 13 yards as he powers his way in. First game back, he was out the last 3. Army's now rushed for 414, Jay, and all 4 touchdowns via the run.
Shocker.
It is. It's impressive.
It's very impressive.
Against a defense, one of the better ones in the MAC. 28-21. Army on top, 5:06 to play.
Brent Davis was very excited to have this man, Woolfolk, back in the game. Here's why, pounding it into the end zone, giving Army the lead with 5 minutes to play.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Start game day strong with the new Breakfast Hash Brown Scramble Bowl. By Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And by Amcor, build, power, service, protect.
Powerful stuff there. The 16th Combat Aviation Brigade, 7th Infantry Division is currently deployed in Afghanistan in support of the Train, Advise, and Assist mission, and John is down with a special guest for more on that.
Well, Ben, thank you so much. I'm here with Major General Bill Burleson, the commander of the 7th Infantry Division. A big year for you, one of 5 divisions celebrating a 100-year anniversary.
Well, it is pretty significant. It's the 100th anniversary of this division. As you know, as part of the Army's 1st Corps, the 7th Infantry Division is really Pacific focused. But celebrating 100 years, establishment initially before World War I, service in World War II, service in Korea, Panama, and most recently Afghanistan.
Speaking of Afghanistan, you have the 16th Combat Aviation Brigade currently in Afghanistan. I know you can't give up too many details, but what is their mission over there?
Well, the 16th Combat Aviation Brigade right now is sort of in the middle of their get ready to come home phase. So they've been supporting both NATO as well as U.S. forces throughout the entirety of Afghanistan for about the last 9 months. They did have one reconnaissance squadron in Iraq over the last 9 months as well, but they just got home.
That's good to hear. I know you are a graduate of West Point, so welcome home to the Academy. Describe what is it like being back here at Michie Stadium for game day?
Well, first of all, it's great to be here when they're winning, and it's fantastic to see the Corps cadets as well as the great work that the staff and faculty have done here, develop such tremendous leaders of character. And the graduates we get from here are really great young men and women, and I'm just proud to be part of it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you being with us. Ben?
Thank you, John. We appreciate great service of all the men and women in the service, and in that division specifically. Back to it, 5:06 to go. Logan Roback, he's got 5 career comebacks. It would be a comeback because he'd have to come back to tie the game, but 5 career fourth quarter overtime comebacks in his career. trying to get his team down the field here. What's he got to do on this drive, Jay?
Well, I like what he just did going to Bailey, because I had a note right here that I had just written down. Only 2 receptions, 12 yards for Bailey going into that drive. Go back to Bailey. He's your best receiver. You don't have to go away from Erickson. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry in this game, and he did last week against Toledo.
Keep him guessing, huh? First and 10, Eastern Michigan. 4.5 to play in the game. Saw the Eagles last week at Toledo, lost 20-15. Erickson's got it. Tough sledding. Good job by that Army defense. 2-yard pickup for the tough-nosed customer out of Michigan, Ian Erickson. 2nd and 8 coming up. There's Jay Bateman.
One of the best defensive coordinators in all of college football. He's an innovator. He gets the most out of his players. They love him.
Erickson 16 for 93 on the ground. Gets it again, breaks through. It's going to be 3rd and short. Play of the game coming up here. With less than 4 to play, Brinson the stop.
It's a big 3rd down. I believe they're in 2-down territory here. There's 3:40 left. You got 3 timeouts. So you could punt it. If you get sacked, you might punt it. But if you stay 3rd and short, I think it's 2-down territory. A little confusion for Army. Late substitution.
Eastern Michigan 3 of 6 on 3rd down. They need 3. Roback fires. Looking for Jerron Johnson. Incomplete. Covered over there by Mike Reynolds. Dare I say Reynolds wrap? That was tight coverage. Looks like they're going for it, right?
They're going for it. Reynolds did a good job seeing the route, exploding, not allowing that pass to be completed. Just trying to get the first down, a good strike. Reynolds is all over him.
Here goes Eastern Michigan. They're 4 of 8 this season on 4th down. They need the 45. Roback in trouble, gets away, heaves it out there. It's caught. Jerron Johnson with a catch, still running. And he's got the first down. What a play. That's the 2nd time Roback's done that.
It reminded me exactly of that play in the first half. Just throwing up a prayer, and his receivers continue to answer him. Good job, Ben, because it was 4th down, so you can't take a sack there. You can't throw it away. Just buy time, throw it up, and let your receiver make a play.
What a play by Brogan Roback. Said he loved Brett Favre as a kid, now likes Aaron Rodgers. That looked a lot like Brett Favre. Erickson on the ground here, Eastern Michigan. All 3 timeouts. We look back at that conversion.
Right here, as Roback rolls out, just buying time, trying to find something. They ran go routes. There's Roback. Good job coming back to your quarterback and then going up and making the play.
Second and 7. Roback stands in. That ball down at the feet of Ian Erickson. 3rd and 7 upcoming. 2:11 to go. Monken's guys up by 7.
Eerily similar for Eastern Michigan. They lose in double overtime to Ohio. They go down to Kentucky. They have a chance on the final play to throw in the end zone. Can't convert. Had the ball at the end against Toledo. Couldn't win that game. Can they convert here?
Greg Turner is checked in as the running back. He gets a rock, and he's immediately met by Alex Ackerman. Alex Ackerman blowing that play up. The senior out of Greenwood, Indiana.
Eastern Michigan quickly called timeout.
There was no play on 3rd down. Eastern Michigan called a timeout before the snap. It will remain 3rd down. Please put 2:11.
It's a good timeout by Creighton right there. Back for the finish with 2:06 left after this. This one going down to the wire. 2:11 remaining. Brogan Roback and his guys have it. It's time now to look at the AP poll powered by Ram Trucks. Jay is
2 big upsets.
Busy over there.
Clemson goes down to Syracuse. Washington State getting beat handily by California. Luke Falk and his Heisman's hopes might have gone up. I mean, he had 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions going into that game. I had him on my Heisman list. He throws 5 picks in that game. That's a huge loss for Washington State.
That'll ruin your weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
So as we get back to the business at hand here, Chris Creighton called a timeout before that 3rd down play, so it remains 3rd and 7. 2:11 to go. 2 timeouts for Eastern Michigan. They've got the ball on the Army 38-yard line. Erickson's going to be the running back in there with Brogan Roback, who's tied a career high with 3 touchdown passes today. He did that last November the 8th in a game we did. 468 yards and 3 TDs in that game. Put some time back on the clock. 3rd and 7. Roback flings it out there. Doherty, Gibson on the coverage. It's going to be PI as Gibson was all over Eddie Doherty.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 2. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Gibson can't believe it, but it's absolutely the right call. They run a clear-out route. Gibson trying to find the ball. Falls right into the man. You have to call that. If their feet get caught as they're running, a lot of times they won't call that. But that was his body going into the receiver. That's why they threw the penalty.
So, another timeout.
Army, their first.
This one taken by Army.
Full timeout.
2:05 remaining in the 4th. Eastern Michigan knocking on the red zone. We'll see if they can get in when we come back. All right, Jay, we've been talking about it. The last 3 games for Eastern Michigan. This was against Ohio. Ohio goes ahead. Eastern Michigan incomplete on their last chance. Then at Kentucky.
They had a chance. The Hail Mary at the end. A bunch of special teams errors led to that. Weren't able to come up with the ball.
And then last week, off of Antoine Porter, Leo Robinson of Toledo, the interception. And the Eagles came up short once again. In the last 2 years, they've had a dozen decided by 7 or less. They're batting 500. Roback trots back on, the senior.
Chris Creighton, the head coach, told us at Eastern Michigan there's a lot of dismissive people. Oh, good job on getting to a bowl game. Like they couldn't do it again. Their whole goal coming back was get back to another bowl game, back-to-back bowl games. This game right here will go a long way in helping them to get bowl eligible if they can find a way to tie this game.
1st down and 10 after the penalty on Gibby Gibson. Erickson next to Roback. Roback flings it. Catch made by Jerron Johnson. Good grab by him.
McClinton was on the coverage, bailed again. We showed that earlier, creating space and allowing the completion. They may take a look at it.
I think they are.
The previous play is under review. The ruling on the field is a completed catch.
9-yard gain if it counts. They called it a catch on the field. We'll look back.
I don't think he had it before he touches out of bounds. He does not catch it clean at the beginning. That ball is moving up onto his chest. He has to have control of the ball before his body, his butt area touches the out of bounds line. Watch as this ball is moving.
So close.
They did call it a catch on the field.
They did.
See how that ball is kind of moving in his hands, and when does he secure it? That's a tough call. I don't know if there's enough evidence to overturn it.
Instant replay official today is Bruce Palmer. David Epperly on the headset with John Bush, who the communicator up there in the booth. Here's the verdict.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Completed catch, 2nd down and 1.
So it stands. Epperly with a word there. It's a 9-yard gain.
The clock will start on my signal.
And you heard Epperly there. In the red zone today, Eastern Michigan 2 of 2. They're in it now. Army 4 of 4 in their red zone opportunities.
Your Army, you can't afford to do bail coverage here. You got to be uptight on the receiver, battle him on the line of scrimmage.
Roback hands off Erickson. Great job stepping up. And they get him at the 10-yard line. Ian Erickson's been a warrior today in that backfield for Eastern Michigan. Nautigal, he's been great too. 12 tackles for him. Cole Christensen there. They get Erickson. And what was first and goal, second and goal upcoming.
Clock continuing to run. Down to a minute here. You got 2 timeouts left.
Erickson back in, 20 carries. He's over 100 yards. Bailey's up top of your screen.
They love to run clear-out routes.
Roback, he's looking that way. Bailey's got it. Did he hold it? Yes! Touchdown! Roback delivers. Bailey comes up with the grab. 8-yard pass, his second touchdown catch of the day.
Favorite pass is the fade, the back shoulder fade. Who are you going to go to? Your best receiver. It's his best pass that Roback throws. Perfect pass. Dropping it in there to Bailey. And look at this. Eastern's lining up like they're going to go for 2.
They certainly are. Gutsy call by Chris Creighton.
Timeout if I'm Army.
They don't know what to do. They're all... There's Monken went down and called it.
Timeout. Army, their second. 30-second timeout.
So Eastern Michigan, this will be the second time they've gone for 2, 0 for 1 the previous attempt. The pass was incomplete this season.
It was last week against Toledo. If you remember, they caught the ball. And originally it was ruled that it was in. And then his toe just hit the end line, and they said it was incomplete.
So 49 seconds to go. Army by 1. An 8-yard touchdown catch, second of the game for Sergio Bailey. He's got 8 for 99. So Bateman huddles his guys. Love the strategy.
What a big play right here. It's huge. Chris Creighton on the road saying, I'm going for 2 in the win right now.
Gutsy call. They've lost. The Eagles have their last 3, as we showed you a few moments ago. Those losses by 7 points or less. There's Creighton in the middle. They're coming on. They're going for it.
Jay Bateman always tells us that he solves his problems with aggression. Does he bring the blitz right now? Do you get after Roback? He doesn't want him to be able to sit in that pocket.
They've got Bailey up top of your screen.
Single coverage up there on top.
Erickson next to Roback. To take the lead. Another timeout by Eastern Michigan.
Timeout. Eastern Michigan, their second. 30-second timeout.
Offensively, you call that a Kodak timeout. You want to take a picture of the defense. So you go out there, you line up, you get the check, and then you see how the defensive lines call timeout. Now you come back over to the sideline and make an adjustment if you don't like what they did.
2 teams being 100% sure that they're ready to execute their respective game plans.
So much riding on this play. Eastern Michigan, 3 straight losses where they've had a chance at the end of the game and haven't been able to come through. Rogan Roback, 4 touchdowns today. An excellent game for him, and they've ran the ball well with Erickson. Jay Bateman's defense has been superb in the 4th quarter this year and last year. Can they come up and make a play to stop Eastern and try and win this game? That's running down there.
Try for the lead. Roback to the end zone. Knocked away. Reynolds. But did Creighton take the timeout?
Timeout. Eastern Michigan before the snap.
The second time
Eastern Michigan before the snap.
On this drive, he's done that.
The first was the 3rd down. They got stopped. It would have been 4th and 9 or 10.
Michigan's final timeout as they had.
That one, though, was huge because the play Reynolds made to stop the 2-point conversion. Talk about building drama.
Oh, my goodness. That's why I love sports and what we do. You never know what's going to unfold in front of your eyes. So let's look back here, Jay.
Watch the top of your screen. Coming over right here to get the timeout.
All the way down to the
right
4.
before the snap.
Wow.
It's an awesome play by Mike Reynolds.
It really was.
Just running down, getting the timeout about a second before the snap.
Yeah.
He got it.
So Army up by 1, Eastern Michigan. Gonna go for 2. Try to take the lead with 49 seconds remaining in the game. Here we go, try for 2. Eastern Michigan out at timeouts. They can't stop it again. Roback gives it off. Erickson! And they say no, he's shy. They say no. Army comes up with a stop a football length away. Army's got players all over and coaches all over the field. They are going to look back at this. Gibby Gibson and the defense, for the time being, have stopped Ian Erickson, Jay.
What a play call. Go with the little option. Get the defensive end to commit Erickson, and then unbelievable defensive play to come up and make the stop. You can see the ball right about a half-yard short of the goal line.
Like a corkscrew.
I thought when he was in the air, he was going to carry into it, but his body continued to rotate, and he came down just short of the goal line.
Here's a look from the other end zone, and what a play by Gibby Gibson. Had the penalty earlier.
Well, he just redeemed himself.
He totally redeemed himself.
I mean, watch where Gibson comes from, all the way back as a safety comes up, and just a huge hit. Takes out Erickson's legs. You freeze it right when the ball hits the ground. His elbow and the ball, he's got to keep coming. There's the elbow. The ball is short.
They called it no good on the field to try for 2. Currently under review.
As soon as that left elbow hits the ground, it's where the ball is. It's up off of the ground, and I believe it's about a half-yard short. Just a phenomenal play by Gibby Gibson.
Outstanding. Bruce Palmer again is our replay official. David Epperly in the middle will deliver the verdict. Brogan Roback on the left. Career high 4 touchdowns, breaking a record he set last year at Ball State. Here's the verdict.
At the review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The extra point try is no good.
So they stop him there. The play stands with 49 seconds to go. And Eastern Michigan will kick it away.
They're going to kick it onside. Right, exactly. They're 0 for 1 on the year on onside kick attempts. Now you go and you say, what's the best opportunity here to get the ball? In college football, you can't hit the high hop where you hit it down into the ground and have it up high in the air.
Kelly's going to come on and tee it up for Chris Creighton's guys. He gambled, he went for it, trying to win the game on the road.
I like the call.
He
had to love, when that play was developing, he had to love exactly where they're at. You get it to your tough, hard, physical running backs with an option. They line up in this muddle huddle. All right, they fake it. Now they're going to kick it to the wide side of the field.
Here we go. It's hot. It's covered by Army. It's covered by their defensive captain, John Voight. That would make his brother proud, who plays for the St. Louis Cardinals. Great hands.
How many defensive ends would you have on your hands team? I mean, that's just spectacular. You take your defensive end, you put him out there, you get a pretty good hop. It's a pretty good kick. And Voight reads it perfectly and catches it. That's a tough hop. It's like a short hop at shortstop. All right, BD, let's see the celebration.
He's like, all right, victory formation.
That's the coach's favorite formation.
Wow, what a ball game.
Heartbreak for Eastern Michigan once again. A huge victory for Army.
There's the superintendent, Bob Caslin, down there, and Army runs the play. Eastern Michigan cannot stop the clock. What a ball game this was. Half a minute remaining. Jeff Monken's guys on the brink of going 5-2 in back-to-back seasons for the first time since 88-89. There's Gibby Gibson, who made the stop on Erickson after a pass interference call.
That's why Jeff Monken, that's why Jeff Monken got the contract extension.
Yeah. 5-year extension. And there's a flag. McGill went off sides on the
offside
near side.
Defense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Difficult for Chris Creighton and his crew. They've been in the game. They've played 4 teams now with winning records.
There will be a 10-second runoff, which will end the game.
Game over. The word from Epperly, and this one, a classic finish, Jay.
I still like the call by Chris Creighton, going for 2, going for the win, on the road. Just Gibby Gibson. What an unbelievable play to come from that deep safety position and come up and make the hit. Big win for Army.
Outstanding football game. Doesn't get much better than that. 1-point win for Army. Jeff Monken, 5th win of the season. They remain undefeated at home, too.
One of their goals on their board, be undefeated at home. They got Temple next week. They're 1 game away from bowl eligibility.
Temple at the moment down to UConn, 28-24, by the way. Thank you, Tom. What a win. The Army and the West Point alma mater will come your way momentarily. And a outstanding victory here on the home field for the Black Knights as we invite you to listen and watch the West Point Army alma mater. Jeff Monken. The fire and the passion that he has for this program, the academy, pretty clear. Lock it up. Football team and all those that root for Jeff Monken's Black Knights. A lot more coming up when we come back. John Schriffen will have post-game interviews. We'll have a lot more for you as well. Army wins a thriller at the buzzer, 28-27. They come away the victor. Well, the Army fans here today going home happy. This was a terrific ball game. Army's 5-2. They beat Eastern Michigan by a single point. Gibby Gibson the stop at the end as Eastern Michigan in the final minute went for 2. Gibson came up with a stop down to John Schriffen with the fiery and excited and happy head coach Jeff Monken.
Oh, Ben, thank you so much, Coach. Before we get to that final 2-point conversion play, I got to talk about your emotions right now. I have never seen you this excited. You picked up a chair. Why was this such a big win?
You know, we had our backs to the wall there several times. I don't think we made a bunch of plays today, and I don't think we played as well as we're capable of playing. And frankly, I was just really disappointed at disappointed at halftime, disappointed as we went through the second half, and we finally made 2 plays down there. We needed both of them on the 2-point conversion when they called timeout, and then the second one. And credit those guys on defense. They did a great job stopping it right there.
Let's go to that play. Break that down for us. When they went out for the first 2-point conversion, you called the timeout. Why?
Well, you see personnel, you see the formation. Obviously, we all have tendencies as to what we're going to do with certain personnel groups and formations. And so it gave us a chance to make a call to best align us to what they were in. So at least if they came out and lined up in the same formation and personnel group, we feel like we had a good call.
So then after the 2 timeouts by Eastern Michigan, it was game time. The 2-point conversion, Brogan Roback rolled out. Tell me how you saw it.
On the one the very last play?
Very last one.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the speed option plays we run to the weak side, and that really was it. You know, we had a guy that was out there leveraging the pitch, and he got blocked, and the guy caught the pitch. He had to pitch off our end, and we had another guy fill the hole, and it really was just you know, the effort of the guy coming from the second level. I don't even know who it was, but popped his head in the gap.
That was Gibby Gibson.
And he made a great play. Yep.
You are now 5-2 for the second straight year. That's the first time you've done that since 88-89. What does that mean for this program?
Well, I'm proud of this team, and what's happened in the past has nothing to do with the 2017 team. These guys are playing as hard as they can play, playing their hearts out, playing together. They love each other. I love these guys, and you know, it's fun. It's fun to win a game like that. It's fun to do something like that together, so we're just going to enjoy it.
It's fun to even watch your celebration out there. I really did enjoy this one. Congratulations, huge win. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Ben?
Thank you, John. I second the motion on his celebration. That was awesome. And here's the schedule, Jay. What's coming up? Temple is the next game, then a bye week, and then Air Force, Duke, North Texas, an open date again, then Navy.
Tough games coming up. I mean, those are good teams. It's been a long time since they went in 2012 and beat Air Force. Duke's a good team. North Texas, they lost to last year in the regular season, then beat them in the bowl game.
Yeah.
And then obviously Navy. And Navy's rolling this year as well.
Well, Ahmad Bradshaw, senior captain on the offensive side, another monster day, over 100 yards, a touchdown in this game, and a long run of 69. He's now down on the field with John.
All right, Ben, thank you so much. When you see your coach pick up a chair, is that excited? What goes through your mind?
Man, he's fired up. He's ready to go back on the field. He's happy we won. He's the most exciting coach in college football. I love playing for him.
I know you were on the sideline for that last play, but describe from your perspective what you saw.
I saw the team try to do like a option play, you know, around the edge, and I'm like, yeah, we run this every day, and Gibby do a good job in stopping it. And when he stopped it, I was so happy, and you know, the sideline just erupted, so it was good.
What was it like having Darnell Woolfolk back in the lineup for the first time since the Ohio State game? What did he add for you guys?
Oh, he's a strong, powerful runner inside. He's my roommate, so I talk to him every night, and I was so happy that he was back and running the ball for us today.
You know, early in the game, Eastern Michigan's offense looked really good, but then you guys responded. What was it like being out there and being able to control the tempo and the pace of this game?
Well, their defense was really good. They 2 inside guys, 2 inside nose tackles and linebackers were really physical, and they played the option really well. It took us a while to score, so we had a lot of long drives, and they did really well stopping us. But it was good being able to execute.
You know, a few years ago, this is a game you might not have won, but this team now knows how to finish. What is the difference in this year's team?
I think it's the attitude and the emotion we play with, and guys just care a lot. And a year ago, you'll probably see our sideline guys sitting down, or, you know, now it's everybody's in the game, everybody holding hands, looking and just believing.
A big win. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Ben?
Thank you, John. Thanks to Ahmad Bradshaw and Jeff Monken for their time on the field with John. We'll take a break. We're not done here at West Point. After the break, we'll send you to our New York studio, have an update with Brent Stover, and a whole lot more as we roll on from Michie Stadium. Well, this one will go down as one of the great wins in the now 4-year tenure of Jeff Monken, and his team comes up with a huge stop. Eastern Michigan goes for 2 with under a minute to go in the game. Gibby Gibson comes up with a stop. John Voigt gets the onside kick. And Jay, as we look back at some of the key moments, what a day it was for Bradshaw, and Darnell Woolfolk was back in for the first time in 3 games.
Big asset having him back in the game. Nice throw there by Roback to Bailey. And they go for 2 in the win.
They tried it. It was Ian Erickson.
Says, no, sir, not today.
Oh, what a play. Beautiful. Back down to the field. John Schriffen with a whole lot more down there. John.
Darnell Woolfolk, good to see you back in the lineup. How do you feel right now health-wise?
I feel great, honestly. Couldn't feel better. Everybody welcomed me back with open arms, and they trusted me with the ball, so I feel great. Body feels good.
Limited reps out there. The coaches said you were only going to get about 10 to 15 touches, but you were in there in some key situations against a tough Eastern Michigan defense. What was it like going up against them?
Honestly, they're a great defense. Their D-line plays hard. They're big, physical. Definitely gave our O-line some fits, and but I think we persevered. They're obviously a great defense. I think they're ranked in top 5 in third down stops. So obviously we had the run game working, and we went with it.
Awesome game, big win. Good luck next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Darnell Woolfolk with a touchdown in the game, 9 for 51 on the ground. Final numbers, what grabs your eyes the most, Jay?
The biggest stat, no turnovers. I said if Army didn't turn the ball over, they'd win the game. Again, they didn't turn the ball over, doing a great job at that this year, continuing to play smart football, physical football, no pass completions.
0 for 5.
Not a surprise.
No.
That's happened a few times already this year. But a big win for the Black Knights.
It really was. Ahmad Bradshaw, 19 carries, 171 yards and a touchdown. Kel Walker with 115 as well.
Big play for Ahmad Bradshaw. He's playing so well. 818 yards already through 7 games, averaging 116 a game. And, doing it on the ground, that's what they do.
This was fun. Let's do it again next week right here at noon. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Once again, our final score, Army 28, Eastern Michigan 27. For Jay, John, all of our hardworking crew, Bruce Clark, our producer, Warren Pick, our director, my name is Ben Holden. It's been a presentation to CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We now send you to New York City, our inside college football studio with Brent Stover and all his guys. So long from West Point.